How's it? Today is Wednesday, October 11th. Yo, it's real. My clean and jerk day, I was nervous for entirety of last week. I did pretty good today. I didn't miss any lifts. At least I wouldn't count them as a missed lift. And I guess that I PR'd last week. Me going up this week also means that I PR'd this week, which is so crazy for me to think about. Today was 110 for 4 sets of 3+1, and then 1 set of 3+1 at 115. And I mean, from the get-go, it was very hard. The first set, I was struggling already. 4th set, I ended up basically pressing out, but I think those are bonus points, dude. Obviously, you don't want to press out in competition, but it is so much harder to do. It requires more proprioception. It requires more athletic ability. It requires more strength. It's just harder to do. It's like the difference between doing a push press and a jerk. One of them I can jerk a lot. I can jerk 140. That's the best I've done. One of them I cannot push press. I mean, my best push press I think is 125. So that's pretty far away from my absolute best. But here's my first set of my cleans at 110. These, again, are so tiring. I think when I'm looking at these, the first rep is almost always really good. Second and third rep are almost always, okay, what can I do to get this rep? What can I do to get by? And that's not a great mentality to have, because I still want to be actively doing the correct things. I still want to be pushing properly, but at some point I'm just so exhausted that I can't really execute exactly how I want to and exactly how I think it needs to be done. Like that rep, first rep and the second rep, you can, if you pause and rewind it, those are very different lifts. One is I am kind of behind the bar and pulling and praying, and the other one is like I'm ready to receive it, I'm ready to catch it. This one's a little bit better than that second rep. I think a lot of these, when I'm looking at them, I am not really aware of how my body is moving, except for the first one. The first one on all of these sets is like, that's a really good lift. I think, like, when I look at it, like, 110 is not very heavy, but when I get to second rep or third rep, I'm like exhausted. That one's alright. I'm trying my best to keep in my head, like, oh, there are a couple things that I want to nail every single rep, and some of them I do pretty good. And that's one of those things is to push with my legs, and the other is not to pull early with my arms. So get my arms around, but not necessarily pull early. And yeah, I mean, if I had better conditioning, I think my technique would be a little bit better. The kind of things that I'm feeling, like right here, this is what I'm feeling like that whole time that I'm trying to do the lifts, right? Here's my 4th set. This is the one I do the press out on. Take a look at the end. But again, similar thing. The first rep is really good. Second one is going to be a struggle. Yeah, so that was a very hip throwy lift, which is not what I want. I want to extend with my legs and then have my hips extend as a result of that. Last clean here. A little bit better. Caught the bounce on the bottom. And then this jerk is atrocious. I tried my best to go quickly between the reps so that these videos wouldn't be forever, and that also, like, I challenged myself a little bit more, like, and as it gets later into the amount of sets that I'm doing, it does take a long time to to get through them, and then the last kind of regroup for the jerk is like, oh shit, I'm actually really tired. Here's my 115. That first one, pretty good. Watch how bad these next two are. Forward there, and I'm like kind of wincing in pain a little bit on my upper back, because I caught it a lot higher on my shoulder than I had anticipated. It was definitely one of the cleans that was misplaced or in the wrong spot on my shoulders. I think that's the only one that it happened to today. And then this is a very near bottom catch, which is not at all what I'm trying to do. That means that the lift itself is very timing dependent, and if my timing is off, I miss that lift, even though it has plenty of height, even though I'm in position to catch it. It's just not lining up for timing wise. Like, my ability to support the weight is not there. From one point to the next point, it's reliant on my timing. I don't know how else to say that. That was not a very coherent way of saying that. But afterwards, I moved into my panda pull thingies. These are looking a little bit better. They still look really bad and silly, but I'm able to get a little bit more upright at the extension, and then pull my arms and pull my body down a little bit better. I think it's the most indicative on the third set. But you can see on the side angle, I am getting more and more upright. I don't want to be leaning forward at the extension when I pull my arms down, which is exactly what happened in the third rep. But like that second one, I was pretty upright. And let's see if I remember this correctly. Yeah, that one's pretty good from the side. Yep, better than the second set for sure. And then that's kind of what that second set looked like. But I am getting better at them. I'm learning, and it's still going up 5 kilos each week, so that's really positive. Finished off with my back squats. These were not as hard as the cleans were, but they were still challenging for sure. I went 60, 100, and then 135. And maybe I should have done a set in between to really warm up. But these 100 squats felt really good. Felt really quick. I felt like I was hitting my positions the way I wanted to. And then I went to 135 for this first set, and I was like, oh dear Lord. The speed out of the hole is not really there, and then as I'm pushing, it tends to slow down quite a bit. But I do make them all, and I don't miss any of them, so that's a positive. I'm not really worried about my squats. I think I probably could get to 145 with this 3 sets of 5 on the end of my cleans. I don't know if I can get to 125 for the triple on the clean and jerk. That would be 2 weeks from now for both of them. But I think I can do next week for the clean and the back squats. I hope so. Maybe this confidence is not a good sign, because for the last 2 weeks, my clean day made me very nervous. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited. I am nervous, but I feel like I can definitely do the next day for the cleans. We'll see if my coach even wants me to do that. I have no idea. I don't know how long these volume blocks usually should be. Should be like 5, 6 weeks, so kind of nearing that very shortly. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Shoots.